And welcome back. You know, on March the 24th, our next guest will hold a Brew You Yoga session. Brew You Yoga session. Your tongue won't go along with it, but she's going to explain the whole thing. Joining us with all the details, we have Leanne Maciel, the founder of Brew You Wellness. Brew You is what it is, what it says.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks very much for having me, first of all.
Oh, welcome. You're always welcome.
So Brew You Yoga is a yoga experience, a yoga class in the center of, or the heart really, of the Bronx Brewery, where I take the class through a full hour yoga class, and then we do a beer tasting after.
Oh, I thought you did the beer first, and then, no?
No, not.
Can you?
That's up to you. That's not the way the classes run. But to each their own, right?
All right, so how does it go now?
So we do a class right in the middle of the brewery, and it's a vinyasa flow class. It's about an hour long, and then we do a tasting of 4 different beers from the Bronx Brewery after the class. So it's a fun way to kind of just balance social interaction. People come a lot of times with their friends to spend a Saturday afternoon getting some exercise in, having some beers, and kind of just enjoying themselves.
I love it.
Yes.
Now, the vinyasa flow,
Yes.
what type of yoga is that?
It's Ashtanga based. It's really a class I designed for all levels of people. I like to say it's a class for all levels of yoga and drinking experience. So it's very much, like I said, Ashtanga in its foundation. But it's a flow. You're going to get a good kind of, you're going to get a little bit of a sweat on, but you're going to stretch, you're going to feel good, you're going to work on your breathing to really have a
Breath
full...
work is very, very important.
Absolutely,
Yes.
it is.
So upon coming to your class, you have to dress a certain way?
Comfortable yoga clothing or just comfortable clothes. I've had a lot of guys who just happen to be in the brewery when we happen to be doing it.
No.
So, no. But like they've come in with jeans or shorts and things like that. So comfortable clothes is really what you need to do the class.
And how's it going to look? What's the first thing we do?
First, I actually talk a little bit about how I created this and got into created the Brew You Yoga program.
How did you create it?
I used to work in the beer business.
Oh.
I was in the corporate world for 15 years, and then I left the beer business to become a health coach and a yoga instructor. So sometimes people look at me and say, "Okay, those are two very different things."
Just put it all together. Let's put this whole thing in the mix and stir it up.
Because why not?
Yeah.
So I actually saw as I made that transition, it was more of, there's more similarities between beer and yoga than people might have thought. There's, they're both ancient traditions. They've been around for centuries. There's a lot of rituals that are included in both. There's a sense of community, right? If you're sitting in a room, like you said, breathing is so important. You're sitting in a room and you're breathing with others and you're moving together. It fosters a sense of community, not unlike beer, which also, it's the oldest social lubricant, if you will, right? So there's a lot of similarities that I've I brought together. And it's also just my approach to wellness in the first place, that you should really be enjoying all of the things that you love instead of, depriving yourself, which so often is that kind of, that perception of health and wellness.
So people come, they want healing. What types of healing are people looking for? Is it mental, physical, or?
That's a great question. I would say a little of both. What I do is I actually take the process of brewing and I use that as a metaphor for the class. So I ask people to think about, as we're going through the class, think about the ingredients that you want to focus on within you. So we all have the same ingredients to choose from, but it's the ones that we give our attention to and our focus that become the foundation of our being as individuals, or in this case, of our brew, right? So if you're picking rye or barley for your grain, then that's going to be the foundation of your brew. If you're focusing on, oh my God, this is so hard, or negative thoughts, that's going to become your perception of the world. Versus this is fun, I'm going to just give it my best. That's then going to be the perception of the world. So it's mental from that capacity. I ask you to think about what you could balance within yourself during the class, and also just what kind of energy you want to put out into the world, right? So those are things that I kind of cue the class, cue the students during the class,
Yeah.
and that's the mental component. But then, as you said, there's the physical aspect of it too, stretching, breathing, and really just opening up the body. Maybe doing, a lot of people are either new or new-ish to yoga that come to this class.
And it's like a stress buster also.
Absolutely,
Yeah, because
yes.
stress causes
It causes
a number of degenerative diseases.
so much that
Yeah.
we don't even...
Or it mimics the disease.
Yes, that's a great point. And things that we don't even connect to stress sometimes can be caused by it. Yes, absolutely.
I'm for it. Helen, can we set something up where we can bring a few, I don't know how many people
Absolutely.
here drink beer, but
We can have kombucha after too.
Yeah.
That's another, the fermented tea.
both
if
will
that's-
loosen you up though.
Absolutely.
The yoga, and then afterwards you get the brew going on.
Yes, yes. And we do private classes.
And you
so
walk
if
out of there floating like, hey.
Absolutely.
I
Feeling
had a
good.
good time here. Yeah.
Yes. We can even dance after as
You
well.
can dance
Yeah,
afterwards
sure.
too. Yeah. All right, add a little dancing. See, put everything in the mix.
That's
You
right.
got it.
Yeah.
And we applaud you too. Where can we go for more great information?
You can go to my website, brewyouwellness.com, where you can find the tickets to the event, the next two coming up. So I do it once a month at the Bronx Brewery. So the next one is March 24th, and then April 14th are the next two coming up.
We love you. Thank you. We
Thank
love
you.
what you're doing too. Leanne Maciel, give her a big round of applause, everybody. Founder, Brew You Wellness.
Thank
All
you very
right.
much.
Thank you so much.
great to meet you.
All right, we have to take a quick break, but stay tuned. We'll come right back with more next.